Okay, thanks, Harm. Hi, guys, and welcome to the last session of the week of the track. Before starting, I will take only a few seconds to say that I'm happy and proud to be here with all of you and propose this session. The second thing is sorry for my bad English. Few words about me. My name is Marco Rocca, and I'm a custom engineer in Microsoft Italy. For people that don't know me, I live in Milan. What is this new role, customer engineer? Is the role that before the last organization in Microsoft last July was called Premier Field Engineer. I changed only the name of the role, but not my work. What I do, I work with SharePoint since 2008 as a developer. I started with SharePoint 2007. Then I follow all SharePoint evolution 10, 13, 16, etc. But today is not enough. I work only with SharePoint. In fact, SharePoint is connected to more modern workplace application present in Microsoft 365, such as, for example, OneDrive, Stream, Form, and Microsoft List that the last product added. Obviously, like everyone who works in modern workplace today, is not possible not working with Teams. But in the last 3 years, I'm focusing on Power Platform sector and in particular mode on Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agent. In the right side of this slide, you can find my contact. Feel free to contact me in my work email or contact me in social network, LinkedIn and Twitter. The agenda of this section is short and easy, you can see in this slide. We start with an introduction about SharePoint Space. What are? This is a big question. And later, I propose you, is possible, integrate this new feature for SharePoint in Teams. Third point will be the geo feature for Power Apps. What we have today, what's next, and how you could create a useful scenario using this feature for Power Apps within Microsoft Teams. And in the final, a Q&A section. The first point, big point, what are SharePoint Space? SharePoint Space are a three-dimensional virtual space you can create using the modern SharePoint site. SharePoint Space are simply a SharePoint page, and within this page, you have a set of web parts that you can use to include, for example, three-dimensional content in your intranet. To create a mixed reality vision, then is a new experience that you have into SharePoint. For example, you have a web parts for your three-dimensional object, 316-degree image and video, two-dimensional image, and more. For example, you have a web part for a preview of the document, as you can see in this image on the right, or for example, you can propose a three-dimensional organizational chart. Very, very interesting. How many space you can create? You can build one or more SharePoint space on a new or existing site. It's important because now you can add space to an existing site, only enable one site feature. Regarding the SharePoint site, we recommend to use a communication site because into communication site you have more screen space to work with space, but it's also possible build SharePoint space also in a modern team site. Obviously, no SharePoint space not work into a classic site. But before starting to use SharePoint space, remember to check your device, because to use SharePoint space, you need advanced graphical support in your PC, in your tablet, or other device. Obviously, also you need to use modern browser such as Edge, Chrome, etc. Okay, but which are the main benefits that you have introducing space? The main benefit is that SharePoint space empower creator to build a different experience. SharePoint space empower creator to build an immersive mixed reality experience with major simplicity that in the past, because in the past was not possible insert three-dimensional object, for example, in SharePoint, was too difficult. For example, using a custom web part or a third-party web part. Now it's possible use a three-dimensional object in SharePoint using out-of-the-box object. Another topic is that important to remember that space are based on SharePoint. Then you already have the site, okay, and the content. You already have, for example, GLB file for model, for three-dimensional model. Now, you need only today use your fantasy to offer to a user a completely different experience. Okay? But remember, sorry, I return to my previous slide. Remember that this is true not only for SharePoint site. Now it's possible using use space also to integrate share space with different Microsoft 365 services. For example, space is useful to organize Microsoft 365 live events, or simply a team meeting is a completely different experience. Okay, but how is possible create SharePoint space today? It's very easy. The first step, as you can see, is enable a site feature. As you can see, this feature is in preview, but already today you can test all space feature. After, you need only to create, for example, a space page, because a space is a SharePoint page, nothing else. In fact, for example, you can see all your space under site page document library as a common page in SharePoint. After this, SharePoint, you need to choose a structure of your space. SharePoint space environment include a skybox, the background image, and a platform when you can add all your objects. Also, remember that the environment also include ambient sounds. Is a fantastic feature. And what you can set and add. You can set the name of the space, the structure. For example, you can change gallery to geodome or spiral. You can select the background image. The best experience is related to a 316 image, but if you don't have this type of image, you can also add a simple two-dimensional image, or in alternative, you can use a sample color or illustration. You can select a welcome message, for example, an audio file or nothing, and you can choose the ambient sound. Okay, nature, wind, rain is out-of-the-box sound that you have, but you can upload and using your custom audio file. What you can add? You can add a particular list of web part. In this slide, you can see the main type that you have. 316-degree image, tour video, three-dimensional object, a three-dimensional view of your document library, file viewer, image, people, simple text, and video. Then you have a different option to customize your page. Okay, but now it's possible also integrate space into Microsoft Teams. How is possible? As I see in the previous slide, SharePoint space are only a SharePoint page. Then it's very easy include space into Teams. How? Using, for example, add to a tab feature in Teams and select SharePoint. Then the only work that you have is create the space in SharePoint. Then you can add a new tab in Microsoft Teams channel, and in the right side of this slide you can see the final effect that you have. To improve the user experience, you also select the expand button in Teams to increase the size of the space available. The second way that you have is to use the new Home Site app for Microsoft Teams. This app, it's possible set a communication site homepage as an entry point in Teams. Is in private preview for the moment, is not released for the moment in your tenant. In this page, you can, for example, using the embed web part in SharePoint, you can embed your space directly in home page. Then you can use Home Site app to show SharePoint space directly in Team application. Okay, and start with my first demo. I prepare a sample demo communication site. It's a sample demo site communication site. Then in site, I go to site settings, site feature. I already activated the SharePoint space feature. Okay. This feature, for example, in Home, enable this voice space. Then I start to insert the space name. I can select gallery. Done. SharePoint building the environment. Okay. This is the structure of the page. This is a 316-degree image, and up and down you have a sample platform where it's possible to place the object. Okay, but before, for example, I would add a nature sound. Okay, then I stop the audio. Okay, I confirm this option. Then I can start to add, for example, one three-dimensional object. Okay, I can put here. I select my model in a GLB format. For example, I open the surface. Okay, I just only wait that put. Okay, the image is ready. I can edit several properties of this object. The first option that I have is the podium. Then I can create a podium for my image. Then the action when the user click this object. For example, I can link this object to another space, for example, or another SharePoint page, or for example, play another video. Okay, for example, I select surface space. Okay, I close this. Sorry for the warning. I set, and this is the final effect. But not only I want to use my podium for example. Okay, I want to use this. Perfect. Then I would add, for example, a manual for my surface or a brochure. I can use a recent document, surface, open. I can expand the preview of my document. Then I can select the properties. Alternative text is okay. Inspect, open in I can delete, save later. For example, I have inspect open in new tab action about this file viewer. I can add a simple text. Okay. In my this is a surface. Okay. I close, save as draft, and this is the final. This is, for example, when I open my document, I can close, return to my model object. Okay, this is a very simple page. But for example, you can create a complete product catalog. I prepare the final result of my catalog, where I have a set of product. I can link this object with another space or a simple SharePoint page to manage a product catalog. Is a completely new experience, but not also to manage a simple product catalog, because you can manage, for example, a conference with SharePoint Space. This is a simple demo regarding a conference that you have in your organization. This is, for example, the main hall, okay, with the keynote link, a breakout session, or, oops, sorry, I needed to click to breakout session. Then in breakout session, you can see, for example, breakout room 2, or the agenda, or breakout room 1. Then I can click, for example, and I can open a team meeting directly from my space. It's it's fantastic. I think I can return to my main hall. The keynote could be for loaded in Microsoft Stream. All of these features are also available in Teams. For example, I prepare a company conference Teams. This is the main hall. Then, for example, the next test here will be possible organized with a link to the sponsor showcase. It's another big feature, or with a link to all breakout session. Then you can put a three-dimensional object, or you can load a three-dimensional. Okay, just a second that the page load completely. This is
Marco, I think we're having some issues on sound. I don't know if you've moved your headset or something. Could you try and maybe change?
Nothing for the moment. You can hear me perfect.
I can hear you a little bit. It sounds quite muffled at the moment, but it keeps breaking up as you're talking. Just to make you aware.
Okay. Also, I think that is the network issue.
Okay.
Then is the video that is possible to load. It's a 316 degrees video that you can load into SharePoint Space. Okay. Then I can close it. I'll show you only another example. I return to the sides. Is for example a SharePoint Space that manage Avalanche site. Just a second that the screen is loaded. Okay. You can put, for example, in your site, then in your Teams, and you can link. Okay, this is the map, but you can put a linked image to explore several locations. And then a 365 316-degree image. Okay, you can see the test. Okay, I can return to my site. It's I think that is a fantastic feature, and to add three-dimensional object in SharePoint than in Teams. In the past, it was not possible to do the same result in a little time. I think that it's very, very fantastic. Okay, but now we'll return to my presentation for introducing geo feature. Okay, another big improvement that are introduced in Power Apps, and then you can use within Teams for creating interesting scenario are geo feature. The interactive map component services are based on Azure Map Services, but in this case you don't need to develop a code for use them. Obviously, as all components that you have in Power Platform. As for the other component in Power Apps, you need only to drag and drop the control in your screen. Also, this feature as for the moment in public preview, and remember that before use them is necessary enable this feature for each environment. Then you need to go to Power Platform Admin Center and enable Geospatial Service. But okay, you can drag and drop the control that you have. Then you can move the location of the map. You can switch, for example, to satellite view, just one click. You can rotate or change the behavior of your map. It's a very, very interesting component because in addition with interactive map, you can use an address suggestion control. Using this control, you can find, for example, a location. You can save it in a Power App collection, and you can show all items in this collection like a pin in a map. For address suggestion, it's important to remember that you have a series of interesting properties such as the country. You can country set. You can limit suggestion to a list of a specific country. In this case, in this slide, I add only Italy, but I can use Italy, French, German, USA, etc. You can select the language, okay, of the address. You can set the number of the result that the address control return, etc. But beyond this feature, I've planned a list of other awesome features in the next month. The next month, you'll have a traffic information, simple routing, drawing polygon on the map, creating a pin, or creating a data card into your map. The traffic feature, with the traffic feature, user will be able to show traffic incident, and if in your way there are a delay or not, as for example in TomTom Navigator or other navigator that you have in your car or in your device. it's possible enable the simple routing feature. In this feature showing the route on the map component from the source to destination. You can select 2 points in your map, and this feature show you the best way that you have based on time, the first option, or distance. Another big feature could be the opportunity to draw polygon into your map. As you can see in image, you can draw a circle, square, etc. Then you can define and show region into your map. But the most important next feature that we'll have in the future will be the opportunity to create a pin. For the moment, the only way that you have to use a pin is to use them into a collection of address. But in the future, it will be possible to create a pin directly on the map. For example, as what's happened in Google Maps, the same feature. The last will be the opportunity to create a data card. Near the pin, you can add a set of metadata that you can show into your interactive map. Okay, I start with my second demo. Then I prepare one app. Okay, I can insert into my map control, map preview. In your tenant, you have this map preview feature. I have another version that is in private preview as a custom, for the moment, as a custom component. Then I drag and drop this control. Then in this map, I can set several feature. For example, if you need to show the current location, switch the current view, if cluster the pin, etc. Okay, then, and will be possible to set, for example, the traffic option that you have. But okay, this is my map. I can change the zoom. I can change the rotation. Okay, and I can return to previous version of my map. Then I can draw, for example, a polygon in my map. The free design or a circle. Okay, I want to return to my application, and I add, the second control that I add is the address suggestion control. Okay, with this feature, language and country set Italy. Then, well, for example, when I can search this address, okay, I can put in one collection, and this is the first pin in my map. I can search another another address. Okay, I can set my second pin in my map. The first pin and the second pin. Then I can choose to show the route. Okay, on the distance, the power-ups proposed this way, or based on time, power-up preferred this route. I can show the traffic information. Oh, there are a lot of traffic in Milan this evening. Okay, and I can show the incident that I have in this map. Okay, with a data card near each incident that you have into the map. Okay, I can clear my collection. I can read this address to show you another feature. Read Reale Cinese. Okay, if I zoom, you can see that the pins are clustered. Then the map shows you that I have 2 pins in this location. When I increase the zoom, the pins are switched. Okay, but I create my application. Then will be possible add as a sample application into my teams. Okay, as a tab, for example, because for the moment it's not possible add a GeoFeature into project Oakdale environment. You need, for example, for the moment, other CS components that are not available in project Oakdale environment. Then it's not possible to use power-up preview into Teams. You need to add the power-ups as a tab in the old mode. Okay, then you can create in Teams interesting scenario. For example, you have a store details list in SharePoint with a title, brand, a several column in your list. Okay, I can see here. I can switch to another screen. Then you can propose to your users a list of store. You can select this and pin this store in the map. You can select another store in the same city. We are for the moment in London. Then I can select a route by relative or by the distance. Okay, I increase the zoom, or based on time. It's more the same. It's the same way, the same route. Yes. Okay. Then, okay, in Team I can create now an application as this, where you can manage the traffic to go from one point to another. Okay. Card. Well, my presentation is coming to end. Thank you for your attention, and I hope to meet all of you physically at an upcoming event next year, and not always in virtual event. Thanks again for your attention.